problem with the Casio calculator is, if, for example, if you try to do negative 3 squared, now you know negative 3 times negative 3 should give you positive 9, but here it's showing negative 9. It's not what you expect. What it's doing the 3 squared first. 3 squared is 9, and then it's attaching the negative to the 9. So really what you should do, you should put brackets. So you're now telling the calculator to square the negative 3 number. That gives you 9. I'm going to try and answer this question now. Complete the table of values for this equation. And below that you've got a table of values, all the x values, and the corresponding y values, but with some values missing. So for example, this one is missing and this one is missing. So what I need to do is substitute the negative 1.5 into the x's, and then do the same thing for 1. Replace the x's with 1. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this equation into the calculator, and I'm going to substitute the values of x's. I'll show you now. If you look at the calculator, now wherever I see an x, as you can see here, where I can see an x, I'm going to replace that with brackets. So just watch the calculator. The first one is cubing, so press the cube button, then it's take away 3, and then in brackets, put the brackets plus 1. So you can see what I've got here. The value of x will go inside the brackets, so that would be x cubed minus 3x plus 1. So the first value that I'm going to enter is, let's do the positive one first. So replace it with 1. Replace that with 1. Press the equal button. I'll get negative 1. So if you look at the screen now, so when it's 1, I've replaced the x with 1. You get negative 1. Right, now I'm going to do the negative 1.5. So if you look at the calculator again, replace that with negative 1.5, and because I put it in bracket, the calculator will look after the negatives. It knows exactly what number that is. It's a negative 1.5 as opposed to just 1.5. Right, that's going to be negative 1.5. So the x's have been replaced with negative 1.5. Press the equal button. I'll get 2.125. Now what I'm going to do, it says on the grid, draw the graph of this equation. Now this is a cubic graph because it's got the x cubed in it. It's a cubic graph. So now most cubic graphs tend to have this kind of shape, like an S shape. This is, if it's got an x squared in it, it's a quadratic graph. They tend to look like this. So if I start plotting this now, I'm going to plot the 2 and 3. 2 along the corridor, 3 up the stairs. That's 2. Right, there's 2 there, and then 3 up the stairs. That one there. Right, so I've done that one. Next one, it's 1.5 along the corridor. 1.5 comes between 1 and 2, and I'll just call that minus 0.1. Right, I can't be that accurate, so I'm just going to use minus 0.1. Minus 0.1 is roughly there. Right, that one's done. Right, next, so I've done that one now. I've got to do this one. 1 along the corridor, minus 1. 1 along the corridor, and minus 1 is down this way, down the stairs. Right, this one is done also. Right, next, that's 0.5 along the corridor. 0.5 is here, it's between 0 and 1, and minus 0. I'll just take it as minus 0.4. I've rounded up. Minus 0.4. Roughly there. Right, this one's pretty easy. 0 and 1. 0 along the corridor is right there, 1 up the stairs. Minus 0.5. Minus 0.5 is here, and we'll call that one 2.4. 2.4, roughly there, right? Just there. Next is minus 1 and 3. Minus 1 and 3 right here. Next is minus 1.5. Minus 1.5 is right there. Minus 1.5 is here, and it's going to be 2.1. 2.1, 2.1, it's around about here. Right, that one's done. And the last one on this table, minus 2 and minus 1. Minus 2, minus 1, right there. Right, these do need to be joined, but freehand, not using a ruler. There's a turning point here. Try that one again. There's another turning point over here. So there you go. It's a cubic graph, and it does have its characteristic S shape.